The third episode of Land of Tanabata opens with Tagaya being attacked by the men dressed in white ceremonial garments. The guys identify themselves as the villagers who had previously encountered Nanmaru and his gang. After questioning Emi and making sure she didn't witness anything significant, they allow her and Tagaya to depart. Meanwhile, news of the Murakami villagers' objections against the golf course reaches Nanmaru and Tomoko. After Emi and Tagaya return to Nanmaru and Tomoko, Emi determines that it is unsafe for the party to stay in the town and that they must leave the very following day. Everyone but Emi departs for Tokyo the following day. Before departing, Nanmaru had exchanged contact information with Sachiko. Takashi had been looking for Nanmaru in the interim, but they had already departed for Tokyo. When he gets to the university in Nanmaru, he asks to see him. Takashi instructs Nanmaru on how to properly use his skills after they first meet. He instructs him to focus his abilities in midair rather than focusing on a specific target. As Takashi shows them, a black sphere materializes in front of them. He shows him the remnants of a plastic bottle that the sphere had touched and said, when the target is a solid or liquid, the sphere, reacts instantly, and about the same volume as the sphere of the physical object, disappears. Being within reach means reaching beyond the window, says Takashi in further detail. You reach out, take a handful from beyond the window, and bring it over to you. Nanmaru is eventually able to form a large sphere with Takashi's help, as he instructs her to visualize 12 fingers pushing at once while creating the sphere. When he later tells Sachiko that he's met her brother Takashi, she instructs him to avoid him. To the worry of the inhabitants, more foreigners are visiting Murakami village in the meantime. Professor Masami calls Emi to let her know that he's okay and won't be going back to Tokyo. He bids Emi farewell and asks her to come back. In another instance, two people, a masked man with an odd 12 fingers and another person, appear during a counselor's talk. As the counselor tries to flee the theater, a massive spherical floating ball approaches and kills him. When Emi does eventually return to the university, Nanmaru uses Beyond the Window to demonstrate his newly acquired abilities to the group. When Nanmaru discovers that similar killings have occurred, his initial joy at his newfound ability quickly gives way to worry. Emi speculates that Takashi could be the one who killed her. Later on in the evening, Takashi asks Nanmaru for assistance. Sachiko goes to see her sick great-uncle back in the hamlet and tells him about the coming of these strange guys. Professor Murakami, Takashi, and me. The great-uncle sits up and says, they're looking for those within reach. There's a big jewel-like object buried in the back of his palms and his forehead. The review of the episode. At last, the show is picking up steam. It's highly likely that Professor Murakami will serve as Mount Murakami's next priest. There's reason to be curious about the telekinetic power holder's intriguing appearance, which may be addressed in future episodes. As of right now, we have no idea exactly what is happening. Are the Murakami people innocent, or are they defending themselves against some other destructive force? What is the reason behind their killings? Could the man wearing a mask be Professor Murakami? What secret lies beneath Mount Murakami? All of our questions remain unanswered, but the next episodes will undoubtedly shed some light on them.